Today, we're going to think about different environments within Brazil, and we're going to explain why the Amazon rainforest is so important. First, can you warm up that brain with a little recap? Last week, we looked at a range of famous landmarks around the world. Let's see how many you can remember. Some will be from the UK, whilst others will be from around the world, including Brazil. Are you ready? Let's go! How many do you recognise? Can you recognise a local landmark? Can you recognise any that we might have mentioned last week? Can you remember talking about some bright colourful steps? That's a very big wall. I wonder where there might be a Great Wall. Don't forget to send your answers to your class teacher to find out how many you got right. Now let's see if you can describe the climate and the landscape of Brazil. Think about the different parts of the UK. Is the landscape the same? Does the weather differ from place to place? Well, how about Brazil? Today we're going to think about 3 different environments and landscapes within Brazil: the Brazilian Highlands, the Pantanal, and the Amazon Basin. As you read about each one, think about the climate features that you can spot. Begin to consider the comparisons that you can make between these different environments. How are they different? Do you think they demonstrate a different climate or biome? How will these differences impact the wildlife that we might find there? The Brazilian highlands make up almost half of Brazil's landmass at almost 4.5 million square kilometres. They are characterised by low mountains, ravines, rocky outcrops, and tabular plateaus. These areas are known for their diversity and mineral content, with much of the region made up of long mountain ranges and dense forests. A large proportion of the country's population live within these areas, and the highest point above sea level is at 2,891 metres. Rain falls mostly in the summer months, but the area can often suffer a drought. The temperature is often a little cooler than average in these areas due to its elevation above sea level. Let's move to a different area. The Pantanal is one of the world's largest wetland areas and can be found in southern central Brazil. It covers an area of 54,000 square miles. During the rainy season, the rivers flood surrounding areas and create lakes, swamps, and marshes, which help to make the soil very fertile. Cattle graze in the Pantanal, making it a popular source of beef. The climate of the Pantanal is tropical, with hot, rainy summers and dry, sunny winters characterised by warm days and cool nights. How would you compare this environment and climate to the Brazilian highlands? Can you spot any differences? Now let's move our focus to the Amazon Basin. The Amazon Basin is the part of South America drained by the Amazon River and its tributaries. The Amazon drainage basin covers an area of about 6,300,000 square kilometres, or about 35.5% of the South American continent. Most of the basin is covered by the Amazon rainforest, also known as Amazonia. This is an area of dense tropical forest, which is the largest rainforest in the world. The Amazon rainforest is a tropical rainforest and is located very close to the equator. As a result of being a tropical rainforest, the Amazon's weather and climate is very hot, humid, and damp. Its average temperature is 27 degrees. There are no seasons like summer, autumn, winter, and spring. It's just one humid season with lots of rain. How is this climate different to the climate we've discussed in the other 2 environments? For your first task, use the information sheets provided to begin to draw comparisons between these environments. With your group or somebody at home, compare the key facts and photos to help you. Discuss any similarities and differences that you can spot and use the question cards to prompt your conversations. Let's think about the Amazon rainforest. Is it important? Although the forest spreads across 9 countries in total, 60% of it lies in Brazil. The forest is thought to have formed around 55 million years ago, and more than 1/3 of the world's species live there. Destruction of the forest continues to threaten its existence. So why is it so important? On this PowerPoint on your virtual classroom, you will be able to follow the link to find this video. This area here is the Amazon, and this is how much of the Earth it takes up in comparison to the other countries. It might look like a small proportion, but it's actually quite a large amount. The Amazon plays a very important role in the water cycle and therefore heat regulation. Some people compare the Amazon to a lung because it exchanges oxygen and carbon dioxide just as a lung does, both of which help us to breathe. Without this exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide, we would not be able to breathe, and the Amazon would be covered in sand like a big desert. But why would this be the case? Well, we know that a lot of the Earth's water comes from the ocean. We know from the water cycle that a lot of this water is evaporated from the sun's heat. But it's still necessary for this vapour to be pushed landward by wind. If this wasn't the case, vegetation would die, crops could not grow, animals would have no food, the circle of life could not continue. So this wind is very important. Where does this wind come from? Well, it's believed that the Amazon creates this wind, and it's essential to keep moisture in the ground. This is known as a biotic pump. It's because the trees create a vapour which condenses when it cools. This creates a vacuum which sucks the air from the ocean and creates the big winds. This is why there's so much rain and wind, and this is why there's so much moisture kept within the continent. It's all thanks to the Amazon rainforest. We've talked about the water cycle, now let's think about temperature. We know carbon dioxide acts as a barrier and prevents heat from leaving the Earth. This is called the greenhouse effect. Well, we also know that trees counteract that effect by absorbing some of the carbon dioxide. Every year, the Amazon rainforest absorbs 1 trillion tons of this gas and is delaying global warming. The Amazon rainforest is also very important because it helps to produce clouds, and it has been found that clouds, especially the whiter ones, can reflect sunlight. This helps regulate temperature as it prevents the sunlight from heating the ground too much. So there are many reasons the Amazon rainforest is important. It helps to regulate oxygen and carbon dioxide, it helps to maintain the Earth's temperature, and it participates in the water cycle by creating winds and keeping water in the ground. The Amazon is full of natural resources that in 1978 the 8 Amazon Basin nations signed a treaty of Amazon cooperation, the Amazon Pact, agreeing to share in the region's resources. Timber, the tropical hardwood, is used for shipbuilding, paper, and can be gathered from permitted loggings. Woods, such as mahogany, are used for musical instruments due to their strong and stable grain. Medicine. Native people are well known for using the range of plants and natural extracts to create their own medicines for chronic conditions such as arthritis. Oils and food. Large reserves of oil sit beneath the forest, as well as the vast range of plants and animals being used as a source of food and meat. It is estimated that up to 10 million different species of animals live in the rainforest. Some of the rarest and most exotic creatures can be found here. Black-headed spider monkeys, scarlet macaws, and the gibbon viper. It is also home to endangered species, and there are also up to 70,000 species of insects that live in the Amazon rainforest. Not only is the forest a habitat for a wide range of wildlife, it provides a home for some indigenous people as well. There are approximately 400 tribes living in the Amazon rainforest, around 77 of which are uncontacted and have very little contact with others outside of their community. The Awa tribe have only recently been discovered and rely upon the forest for every need. How might these things affect their way of life? Cattle ranching, farming, logging, disease, and road building. Here are some images taken of their community. Hi, my home is the Amazon rainforest. I am part of the Awa tribe. In the Amazon, We have cleared an area of trees to build our homes and plant our crops. My life is very different to yours. Each day I get up at 5 a.m. as the sun rises and go to bed as the sun sets. In my village we grow crops, including bean crops and bananas. For breakfast, I collect the crops for my family to eat. I do not go to school. I help my family. Each day we hunt for food. We hunt for turtles and fish in the river, catching them with arrows. We cook the food over a fire while it is fresh. I usually have fish for my lunch. The rainforest is valuable for tribes like ours, as it has many resources we can use to build our homes, light our fires, and provide medicines when we are sick. We live in harmony with the rainforest and only use resources we need. We don't have electricity to watch TV or play computer games. There are many threats to the Amazon rainforest, such as deforestation, logging, and cattle grazing. For your second task, complete the 4-box worksheet to make notes about each of the 4 areas. Then write a paragraph to explain why the Amazon rainforest is so important to Brazil.